Before we get into today's edition of NBA Now, it is a Father's Day. So everyone shout your dad out for me in the comments section of today's show. The NBA Finals are still ongoing, for now at least, but let's check in on some of the top rumors out there before the offseason truly gets going. We begin with Paul George. He is set to be a free agent this offseason. Among other things we'll get into, Joel Embiid, I don't know, not so subtly recruiting him, making the comment of, we got some cap space, we can spend some money and make the team roster, looks over and smiles at Paul George, sitting next to him on NBA Countdown. The hint is obvious. The Knicks have been linked previously. We'll go more in depth on them as well. The Clippers allegedly not offering the type of deal Paul George is looking for. We'll break down those details here as well. PG-13. We can go the playoff Paul jokes, I guess, if we want to. But regular season version's been really good. He's a very good basketball player. He can shoot the three. He can get buckets. He's not in all liability. It's not even he continues to get older. I think age is a factor there for Paul George. If you go back and look at our top free agents video, the top guy who is probably going to be available out there is Paul George. We'll see about LeBron. That's kind of its own special category. Tyrese Maxey's not going to be available, but teams are going to have interest in George. Now, the Knicks are one of those teams. There's the Leon Rose CAA connection. What is noteworthy about this particular situation is that because of the Knicks and the Clippers' current salary cap situations and the rules, George would have to opt into his contract and then be traded to the Knicks, and then the Knicks could do an extension. So it's a little bit more complicated than, say, just going back to LA. George has been eligible to sign a 4-year, $221.1, give or take, million dollar to the Clippers all season. That has not happened. Allegedly, per the Ringer, the Clippers have not gone above a 3-year, $152.4 million deal. That's a pretty big difference, even with the extra year added on to it. And what does the market look like if he hits free agency, opts out of his player option? One team that stands out, the Magic have been linked to, with the 76ers. The Sixers are in kind of a unique contract spot, salary cap-wise. They got over $55 million. They can easily give George the most that they can give him, 4 years, $212 million. So it's a $10 million difference in terms of what the Clippers max is and the 76ers max ends up being, because NBA contracts are weird. Embiid seems to want him. The Sixers can lock in their trio of Embiid, George, and Maxey this offseason and go try to have some success in the Eastern Conference and beyond. So when it's all said and done, in a month and a half, whatever the timing looks like there, maybe a little bit less than a month if the Clippers do it differently. Who lands Paul George? C for the Clippers, 7 for the 76ers, K for the Knicks, or O for a different team. And let me know who that team is, by the way, at the pinned comment of today's show. Somehow the Kevin Durant rumors are back. Not the first time. Something tells me not the last time either, given the longest road, the hardest road that Durant likes to take. He has been on the moved plenty of times over his NBA career. It was the Thunder, it was the Warriors, it was the Nets. Now it's the Suns, and I think we all know the Suns had a very disappointing season for the amount of money being spent on that team to go as not far as they did. I think is a pretty big red flag and a disappointment there. The Suns have said they're not going to trade Durant. That has not stopped Bleacher Report from cooking up some ideas to make that happen. Here's their first trade idea of Kevin Durant. The Suns get Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, and a first-round pick in 2025. I would argue that's probably not enough, right? That's not a big return for even an older version, maybe declining Kevin Durant, a replacement wing, a promising young wing in Kuminga, Kevon Looney, okay. Like a first-round pick in a not great class. It's kind of I just don't think it's a great. I don't think it's a very good package, frankly. The second package is with the Thunder. Strange how it's former teams he ends up going to, right? It's Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, and 4 first-round picks. Number 12 this year, a 2027 first, a 2028 first via the Mavericks, and a 2029 first-round pick. Am I crazy for thinking the Thunder say no? And you can tell me I'm an idiot in the comments, but that's totally fine with me. I see it a decline. Like, Giddey not only had the best season off the field off the court stuff is everyone knows what happened there. Lou Dort's a damn good defensive player. I like Jim Williams as a backup big. 4 firsts. It might not be very highly valued, but I think that's a lot for KD because I think even if you got a real answer out of Kevin Durant, he'd say this too. His best days are behind him. It's not to say he's bad. You can see kind of the decline in points per game. The efficiency dropped up in 2022 to 2023 and led to maybe more points per game there. He's going to be 36 in September. How many more years does Kevin Durant really have as a top-end player, a top, the number 1 on a team or the number 2, I guess, in Oklahoma City or Golden State? I don't know. So what is the percent chance you think the Suns actually trade Kevin Durant? I think that's pretty low, but go ahead and sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. All right, how about no Jarrett Allen trade? This is one we've discussed plenty, has been discussed plenty out there by media outlets. Mark Stein saying that, hey, Donovan Mitchell likes Jarrett Allen a lot. Mitchell's going to sign an extension. Therefore, the Cavs probably won't trade Jarrett Allen. Here's the report from Stein. One reason I've heard for the Cavaliers reported reluctance to trade Jarrett Allen, despite some ongoing questions about Allen's fit in the same front court alongside the emerging Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell is often described as an Allen fan who doesn't want to lose him as a teammate. We'll come back to that here more in depth in a moment, but first, today's show is made possible by some NBA jerseys. Go get one. Chatsports.com/NBA jersey. If you didn't get anything great for Father's Day, or you're not a father, you want to spoil yourself, or you want to get something good for your dad because you maybe forgot, go to chatsports.com/NBA jersey. The link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Chatsports.com/NBA jersey. They are the official NBA jerseys. Get yours today. That link, again, is in the comments and the description of today's show. The Cavs' whole goal this offseason is to make sure D. Mitch is happy and back and under contract. And once that happens, and allegedly is the reason why they parted ways with JB Bickerstaff to try to build the team even better and not settle for being, a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference or whatever. It's all about making Mitchell happy, keeping him in the fold, and building the best roster possible. Now, in the era of player empowerment, which is a good thing at times, sometimes you get a little bit worried if your players have too much personnel control. That's why they're players and not coaches and not executives. And I think it is very fair, as good as Jarrett Allen is, to wonder about the fit alongside Evan Mobley. And I also wonder the alleged frustration from members of that organization when, Allen didn't force his way through it. He didn't play through it, the injury in the playoffs, the way I think people were hoping that he was going to. There would be interest in Allen. Centers have kind of a short shelf life sometimes in the NBA, but 16-10 guys don't exactly grow on trees. And there is value to that on the roster or via a trade. We'll have a lot more NBA coverage for you here on Chat Sports. My guy Nick Roloff will be anchoring the majority of our coverage on demand and live, and of course for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Finally, I want to look at the latest on the possible plans, range of outcomes for Bronny James. Mark Stein says the Mavs have interest in him at 58, but they don't think he'll be there. They think he's off the board before that time frame. Quote unquote from Stein was extremely unlikely LeBron's kid will make it that late in the draft. Rick Carlisle, the Pacers head coach, feels pretty similarly, saying, quote, I'm going to go on a limb here and predict he goes quite a bit higher than that, referencing the Pacers picks at 50 and 51. I'm not going to say who. I don't want to get fined. I've been fined enough this year during the playoffs. In reality, the accusations that Bronny James is getting so much hype because of who his dad is, I think it's fair. I think it's accurate. He put up 4.8 points per game. That's not exactly great. The efficiency was not good. I think it's also fair to say that was not the best version of Bronny James you'll get in the NBA, but you got to be a lot better than that to make it in the NBA. And maybe in the end, the best comparison, which there's a real chance Bronny goes round 1, whether to the Lakers or because a team thinks that they're going to be able to sign Bronny after that. It's probably Peyton Watson. Now, he was a bigger-sized athlete. He was a better athlete, I think, overall. Not that Bronny's a bad athlete, by the way. Bigger player, more highly touted out of high school. Watson averaged 3.3 points per game at UCLA. So under 5 points per game, being drafted out of college is not unheard of. But do you really want to spend a top 20 pick on Bronny James? Round 2, I'm fine. Top 20? That's a Nepo baby right there. So who will draft Bronny James? Feels like it's the Lakers, right? Are they going to buy a second rounder and draft Bronny with it? Would anyone be surprised by that? Let me know in the comment section who you think ends up adding Bronny James.